Buying a home, seemingly one complicated step after another. First, the initial offer, then hammering out the details of the contract before finally going to settlement. Here to help you navigate those last few tricky steps, Eldad Moraru of Long & Foster, thank you as always for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
You just went through a final walkthrough with a buyer, and you have some tips fresh in your mind as a result of that. It sounds kind of funny, but you say you should think of maybe bringing some tools along and not necessarily dressing in a suit for that final walkthrough.
Right, absolutely. So bring that list of things that the seller was supposed to fix from the home inspection, and bring whatever you're going to need to be able to actually inspect those items. So my buyer specifically had to, the seller agreed to lay down new insulation in the attic. There's only one way to get up there through that little trapdoor, was bring a ladder. So bring a ladder, bring flashlights, bring that list, a notepad to take notes. And if it's a truly complicated walkthrough and you don't feel comfortable, you may even want to bring your home inspector, which most of them will do for a nominal fee.
Now, are a lot of people aware of this, or do a lot of people show up just expecting everything to kind of go smoothly?
Well, if you're walking through with a good agent, he'll walk you through the process, tell you what to bring. I prepare my clients. Typically, you hope that it is going to be a smooth walkthrough, but sometimes happens, you go through the list and either the seller did not take care of some of the items he was supposed to or did them erroneously. You need to catch those things at the final walkthrough.
And a really good agent will go up in the attic and get fiberglass insulation all over it. So, no, that's above and beyond. Anyway, what else are you looking for in the final walkthrough?
Well,
stuff that you might not have.
Right. So here's what the final walkthrough is for. Several things. Number one, like we just mentioned, making sure that everything that was supposed to be fixed was fixed, to make sure that nothing you expect to be there is there. For example, all the furniture, all the personal belongings of the seller should be out of there. And also things that you did expect to be there should still be there, like the appliances, the window treatments. If the contract said that the play set in the yard was there and it's not, well, then somebody breached the contract.
Right. And then what do? You're hours away from settlement. What's the next step?
Right. So if indeed there are issues, and sometimes there are, you do have several options at your disposal. The first one is to delay settlement until everything is done correctly. Typically, both buyers and sellers don't want to go that route. The more common one is that the title company can hold back funds from the seller's proceeds, hold that money in escrow. You go ahead and settle. And after settlement and after everything has been remedied to the buyer's satisfaction, the title company will pay any invoices that need to be paid and refund the seller the balance of that escrow. However, and this is the big one, if the buyer is doing FHA financing, that's not an option the lender will allow. So there's a few other things that you could do.
How often does this come up as you're dealing with the end game here of the process, where the contract is essentially not executed correctly?
It's actually rather common that we do see issues, but some are very minor and very easily remedied. The buyers and sellers just talk about it at the table and agree very easily to something. Once in a while, it does get a little sticky, and it has to be remedied. Otherwise, you really have a big issue on your hands.
Yeah, people on both sides should know that this is not to be used as a loophole to get out of the contract, because that would be a very sticky and serious situation at this point.
Right, absolutely. It is not a loophole to get out of the contract.
All right, Eldad Moraru of Long & Foster, informative as always. When I finally get around to buying that house, I will be using all of these tips one after another. And we will have more information on this topic and others at WTOP.com.